Om Timidandasya Kinajana Shalakaya Chakshuramiditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shravitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Gadati Svapadantiyam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuktapadakamam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahajanana Gunatam Vitam Tam Savivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahajananadita Shri Vishakam Vitam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Gaura Prachane Nirvishesha Sunyadi Aschacha Vishishtacharine Chakalpaturyacha Kripamasayuryacha Patitam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaveshwari Rishabhanu Sute Pranamami Hari Priye Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishiki. Good morning. It's not a very good morning, is it?
Too much rain.
Huh? What happened?
Too much rain.
Too much rain. Yeah. I guess it must be Denmark.
Yeah, it was quite a cool summer.
So we're reading from, despite the rain, we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 18, Verse number 75, the chapter is called Diti Vows to Kill King Indra. Okay, shall we chant this together? If we did this in the classical tradition, we would not be reading it, we would only be hearing it. Hearing and repeating. But we've become a visual culture. What to do? Aradyatma pradam devam.
Aradyatma devam.
Aradyatma pradam devam.
Aradyatma pradam devam.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Aradyatma pradam devam.
Aradyatma pradam devam.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Aradyatma pradam devam.
Aradyatma pradam devam.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Aradyatma padam devam.
Aradyatma pradam devam.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Ladies?
Aradyatma pradam devam.
Aradyatma pradam devam.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Aradyatma pradam devam.
Aradyatma pradam devam.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Svatmanam jagadishvaram.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat.
Aradyatma pradam devam.
Aradyatma pradam devam.
Svatmanam
Svatmanam
jagadishvaram.
jagadishvaram.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Kovrinita gunasparsham.
Buddhasyan narakepiyat. Okay, what does all this mean? Oh, before that, one little tip about Sanskrit pronunciation. There is, you probably know already, but there is a difference between short vowels and long vowels. And they can make quite a difference in meaning. And therefore, when one learns Sanskrit, they put a lot of emphasis on making the difference between the two. Yeah, so it's Aradyatma. It's not Aradyatma. Because if it were Arada, Aradya, it would perhaps mean something like not not having worshipped. Okay. Aradhya,
Aradhya,
after worshipping.
after worshipping.
Atma pradam,
Atma Pradam,
who gives himself.
who gives himself.
Devam,
Devam,
the Lord.
the Lord.
Sva-atmanam,
Sva-atmanam,
the most dear.
the most dear.
Jagat-ishvaram,
Jagadishwaram,
the Lord of the universe.
the Lord of the universe.
Kaha,
Kaha,
what
what
Vranita
Vinita
would choose.
would choose.
Gunasparsham,
Gunasparsham,
material happiness.
material happiness.
Actually, the word sparsha, you know this word. What is sparsha?
Touch.
Yes, touch. So literally, what would this be? Guna sparsha.
Touch of the gunas.
Yeah, or touching the gunas, something like that. Depends how you take the samadhi. Buddha,
Buddha,
intelligent person.
intelligent person.
Syat,
Syat,
is. Actually, syat is what's called subjunctive form. So it means will be or may be. It's more like maybe. So can be. Narake,
Narake,
in hell.
in hell.
Api,
Happy,
even.
even.
Yet,
Yet,
which.
which.
So now we know what it means, right? Okay, let's get the translation. And purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Yeah.
Translation: the ultimate goal of all ambitions. Who's speaking here, by the way? Do we know? Indra, yes. Who's he speaking to? Diti, yes. The ultimate goal of all ambitions is to become a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If an intelligent man serves the most dear Lord, who gives himself to his devotees, how can he desire material happiness, which is available even in hell? Happiness available in hell? Interesting. Shall we repeat the verse together? Do you usually do this? Okay, we'll keep the tradition. The ultimate goal
The ultimate goal
of all ambitions
of all ambitions
is to become a servant
is to become a servant
of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
of the Supreme Personality of God.
If an intelligent man
If an intelligent man
serves the most dear Lord,
serves the most dear Lord,
who gives himself to his devotees,
who gives himself to his devotees,
how can he desire material happiness,
how can he desire material happiness,
which is available even in hell?
which is available even in hell?
Okay, now this, there are two sentences, and the second one is a question. What sort of question is it? You know, there's a special word for this. It's called a rhetorical question. You know what a rhetorical question is?
The answer is already in the question.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. The answer is already in the question. It's not exactly asking for an answer. It's usually a kind of challenge. Okay, purport. An intelligent man, or we might add nowadays, man or woman, will never aspire to become a devotee to achieve material happiness. That is the test of a devotee. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches, Nadanam Kanjanam nasundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishvare bhagavad bhakti rahaitu tvayi. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. A pure devotee never begs the Lord for material happiness in the shape of riches, followers, a good wife, or even mukti. The Lord promises, however, Yogakshema Vahanyaham. I voluntarily bring everything necessary for my service. Interesting translation of that phrase. I voluntarily bring everything necessary for my service. Okay. Right. Aradhyatma pradamdevam svatmanam Jaganishwaram Kovrinita Gunasparsham Bhutasyam Narake Yat. The ultimate goal of all ambitions is to become a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If an intelligent man serves the Most Dear Lord, who gives himself to his devotees, how can he desire material happiness which is available even in hell? It's interesting that Lord Indra is saying this, because in the Bhagavatam, how is Indra usually presented?
Quite mystic.
Yes, Mata.
As the incarnation of lust in the lowest. I mean, he many times gets himself in trouble.
Yeah, he's kind of portrayed as rather foolish, isn't it? And rather preoccupied with material things. After all, he's King of Heaven, he's sometimes referred to, and he seems to take his position very seriously. In the Rig Veda, there are prayers, there are hymns to Lord Indra, which are very much praising Indra. He is he's like one of the main heroes. He's like a hero. And one of the heroic things that he does is to kill Vritra. This is described in the Rig Veda. Vritrasura, is some sort of, he's a kind of monster. We might describe him as a kind of dragon. In China, they talk of dragons. Dragons are sort of giant, snake, lizard type beasts. So, and what Vritra does is to hold back all the waters of creation. He kind of restrains the flow of water. We know how essential water is for life. Vritra takes it in his mind, gets the idea, I will trouble all living entities, and so he holds back all the waters. So everyone starts choking and dying of thirst, and everything's drying up, and it's becoming a terrible situation. So Indra comes and he kills Vritra, and everyone cheers. Yay! All glories to Lord Indra. But in the Bhagavatam, we get sort of more like the inside story. We get this a lot. We also get kind of inside story of things that go on in the Mahabharata. And what's the inside story about Vritra and Indra?
That Vritrasura, he was Chitraketu,
Yeah.
and he was a
Describe it.
devotee, and he got cursed by Mother Parvati.
Yeah, he got cursed by Mother Parvati for doing what?
Offending her husband.
Okay,
And her also.
but what specifically did he do?
He just laughed.
He just laughed. He saw something that he thought was very funny, and she didn't think was funny at all. Yeah, she took offense. And so Chitraketu, who was, he'd already had darshan of the Lord. In what form? Oscar. Sankarshan, yeah. So he's already had direct darshan of the Lord. There's no question of him being an exalted devotee of the Lord. But through no particular fault on his part, I would say, if we saw this situation that he saw, we might also be inclined to laugh. What was humorous was that Shiva and Parvati were together in some sort of intimacy. It's not exactly clear, what it is, but in any case, it seems Parvati was on Lord Shiva's lap, and that's when you're in private. Householders in private might do that, but they weren't in private. They were surrounded by sages. So that's very humorous. That's like, huh? So you can imagine Chitraketu going, huh? What's this? And then laughing. So really, through no real fault of his own, he was cursed. And of course, all of this was the bigger arrangement so that Indra can learn a lesson, because as Vritra, Chitraketu has some memory. He wants to get back to his situation as a devotee, and so he's really looking forward to being killed. And whereas Indra is kind of hesitating. Indra is in this in the Bhagavatam description. He's feeling I don't know. He seems like kind of mixed feelings. He knows he has to kill the demon, but it's so difficult, and he needs to be pushed, encouraged by Vritra. Go ahead, kill me. You can do it. And so we understand in this situation, Vritra is actually in the superior position. He is in the position of readiness to give up his life in order to again fully take shelter in the Lord. Yeah, so Indra is usually in a somewhat embarrassing condition in the Bhagavatam. Some other examples we might think of where Indra is presented in the Bhagavatam. Yes.
He also didn't respect Brihaspati, and his spiritual master. He was a little absorbed in his own sin and glory.
Yeah, he was a bit caught up in watching the dancing girls or whatever it was. So when his Guru Maharaj came in, he ignored it. Imagine that. Your own Guru Maharaj would come in the room and you would just ignore him. That might not be a good idea. So, yeah. What else? What's the other case of Indra?
He was disturbed when Krishna took him the offering that was made for him.
Yeah, he was immediately offended after Indra persuaded his daddy. He said, Daddy, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're making Indra Yagya. What for? Well, we always do it. Yeah, so? And then he gives these arguments which look something like karma mimamsa philosophy. That what really matters is just that we do our duty, and then material nature is obliged to provide. The demigods, material nature including the demigods, are obliged to give our needs. And so we don't have to worship Indra. Oh, okay. Nanda Maharaj says, oh, all right. Because Krishna is so charming. Imagine, if you can, little Krishna, he's, how old was he? 7 years old. 7-year-old boys. In general, they're, anyway, pretty cute, right? But a 7-year-old Krishna, imagine how cute he is. And imagine what a cute voice he must have when he's 7 years old. And he's saying, Daddy, why are we doing this? And he's probably smiling at the same time. And his eyes are, blinking, and Nanda Maharaj's heart just melts. He says, yes, whatever, whatever you want.